Needs now. There we go. All right. Let's hope that they finally fixed stuff with their stream. We got 3 minutes. Got 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm super interested in what they're gonna have here. Oh,
Thank you.
thanks for the resub, Nat.
Just subscribed for 15 months.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Enjoy the lurk. It's not gonna be a super long thing. Oh, I should probably have that extension activated for voting for the Grimoire. I should do that. Let me go ahead and install this. There we go. Grimoire should be active right there. There we go. Let me double check. Yeah, okay. You can see the Grimoire. Okay, here we go. We got a little bit more than a minute. But yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, I'm excited for this. But we'll probably throw a raid over to Polly once we're done watching. But we got a couple seconds left, so let's go ahead and hire them up to 95%. I think 95% is okay. Ooh, that actually might be a bit too low. Here, once they start talking, we'll see. Because on OBS, it seems to be a bit low. All right, let's do this. 5 seconds. Final Grimoire community stream. See what we got, eh? DBD news and updates. All right, let's see how loud they are, and then I'll hire it in OBS if need be. This is a nice setup. I like this setup. Just somebody running just Vasquez running with birds in the window. I think that's pretty funny. The perfect timing. The ad break is finished. Let's see. How loud are they?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another
Okay,
Dead by
they're good
Daylight
audio.
live stream. I'm one of your hosts, Dork, and I
Actually might be a little bit too loud.
That starting soon screen. That is my magnum opus at the moment.
Let's do that.
I don't know if I can outdo myself with that, but I really enjoyed making it for you all, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I am obviously not here by myself. I am joined by the wonderful Mandy.
Hi.
The mic audio is really nice so
and
far.
Today we're going to be starting off with talking about our news and updates here. So to start off the top of the show, we'll be talking about the upcoming event, which is going to be TwitchCon 2026 in Rotterdam.
Hey, okay.
I will be there along with one of our people from Influence Management, Kate, as many of you have come to know. I'm super excited to be meeting you all there in Rotterdam. Super excited to be flown out again. I cannot wait to be there and meet you all. We've also got 2 events that are going to be happening during that time frame. One being the Dead by Daylight Transformation Special Effects Makeup with mcroft07, and the other being Horror Games Community Meetup conjured by Dead by Daylight. So really excited for those 2 events, and I'm going to be making some content there as well. So if you would like to be in some DBD content, find me. Next up, we'll have the cosmetic contest coming back, the design a cosmetic
Ooh,
contest.
nice.
And
Very nice.
oh my gosh, sorry, I heard a phantom in the fog. But the campfire is set for that once again this year, and we'll be starting that off.
Audio's
in the
pretty
June,
good, so I'm pretty
July
happy so
timeframe.
far.
So keep an eye out for the announcement post going live about that.
Okay.
Without further ado, we've got Mandy with 2 other updates.
Mandy, she just was in a video Super
Thank
Elf.
you, Dork.
I didn't know that she's been playing since the
So
beginning.
yesterday, as you all know, we've had a ban wave this week. I'm going to address that briefly now. Yesterday,
Oh, okay.
we unbanned many accounts, and we urge you, please use authorized sellers when you're purchasing content within the game. For Dead by Daylight, use an authorized seller. Go to the website. At the bottom, very bottom of the website, you will see the list. It's the images, the icons of the authorized retailers. That's keep your account.
Glad they're
safe,
talking about it.
Please, I implore you. Everybody who did get banned, their unban has happened. You will be unbanned fully on the 12th at 12 p.m. 11th. Was it? Sorry. 12 at 1 p.m. Thank you. See, I should have written a note down. I can never remember times. Thank you, Omnia. And the
That's
other
I put in my
thing is
calendar.
that we're aware that the recent hotfixes, there has been quite a few crashes. So
Yeah,
on
so they put
Steam,
like
and
a
I'm sorry, we
Steam
can only
thing.
do this on the Steam platform. We have put out a small fix yesterday. It's on the extra branch. So where you go to join a PTB, you can join this special branch instead, just to test out those fixes. That is going to really help us. It's ahead of hotfix 2, so we can see if these things
Yeah, I saw
are
that
actually
get mentioned
working,
the other
'cause
day.
they're really difficult to repro from our side, but players are really struggling with it. So if you can go onto that branch, test it out, and let us know. If you can comment on Steam, forums, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, we're getting it all from there. So please, thank you.
All right. So with that news given to you here at the top of the show, we're going to be transitioning over into the Grimoire.
Yes.
We're going to have
Let's see.
Jeff come onto the couch and sit down
Jeff.
with Mandy to talk some more. So see you soon.
All right. What do we got for the Grimoire? The final voting has gone live. You can vote for my stream as well, by the way. Or you can head over to the website. But you have until May 11th. All right, here we go.
Come back.
Oh, her audio's gone.
Who are you?
Well, I've upgraded from being homeless.
Oh, good.
Uh,
I'm glad.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Jeff, senior game designer working on the Grimoire Killer, known as The Judgment, and I'm here to give you a quick rundown of updates and a little recap on the Discord staging that we had last week, was it?
It was.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
last
Friday.
Yeah.
It was Friday.
There was some information there that
I did not want to
thought
wake up
interesting
for
those of
that.
you who couldn't make it, so hopefully you'll find it interesting.
Yep, nice recap.
Right, I have the clicker. I have the power.
He has the power now.
Wait, I have
Don't
to
let him have power.
get to the right slide.
Why are we still using a
This is the right
clicker?
slide. So, right, what have we been up to? Well, I'm happy to say that full production for the Grimoire has officially started a couple weeks back, actually.
Nice,
And it's, like,
nice.
full speed ahead. There's a lot of stuff happening, and it's really great to see the different teams integrate their stuff, because that's where you see like the puzzle pieces kind of like fall together.
It's like a jigsaw.
It's the best part of it. And one thing I will note just ahead of my next section is that by this time, usually the programmers who were working on the prototype are now full-time on the implementation to make sure that they,
Yeah, so
put it
it's
up to
full in
snuff for
swing now.
What we would want in a release.
So it should come out
However,
in
yeah,
fall.
some good news about that. So stick around.
Oh,
And yes, talking about the integration, there's some really cool stuff that you'll be able to see after my segment. So I encourage you to stick around because it's really, really neat.
okay.
And the vote.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. There's also a vote
So you
on
gotta
something
vote.
really cool. So
Yeah,
you
the
know,
music
don't take
and the
my word
art.
for it. Just stick around and you'll see.
Yeah.
So, right.
I gotta say, I love that you said up to snuff, up to snuff. This is just my new favorite expression.
Before I move on into my slides, I have a couple bullet points here because I'm very forgetful, like you are.
And I'm blind.
That's
as
fair.
well. I can't
So,
read it.
yeah, I mean, you don't even have your contacts on. So
I know. Contactless, yeah.
the first thing I'll say is that, well, thank you for sharing all your feedback on all the Grimoire development. It's been super helpful. You know, we had the content creator preview, then we had.
I wish I
their
could have been part of
reaction,
that
we had their
preview.
follow-up reaction, and there was a lot of threads. I totally did not spend a lot of time on Reddit reading everything, refreshing every 5 minutes. I did not.
You are not allowed to do that.
But I wanted to say thank you because it's really helpful. And like when we say that we need the feedback, it is very genuine. We need the feedback to know what we need to address. And I think that what we'll show today, yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's
very cool.
So with that feedback, we, you know, kind of like brainstormed, okay, what could we do to address that feedback? And obviously, we can't address everything because we have a timeline to follow. Like when the prototype is over, it's a bit difficult to implement like more complex things. So unfortunately, sometimes we have to make really tough decisions to just move on because our
Yeah,
production
so they had
quality
to
is
cut
worse
out
for these kind of
like
things.
future votes we were gonna have.
So, but like I said, there's some really cool solutions that we found to a couple of issues that I'm really proud of because, like I said, usually programmers move on to implementation and they kind of leave the designer to fine-tune balancing and all that stuff. But I am happy to say that I took it upon myself to try to implement changes on my own.
I'm proud of you.
It was
Good
a
for
mess.
you. I'm so
It was a
proud.
mess. And there was lots of bugs.
So
lots of
proud.
bugs, and it was a bit of a you know, headache to try to figure out. But I managed to get some really cool stuff done, and that meant that we could de-risk these things for production, and now we're like on track. Obviously, all of these things are subject to change because the product is not, you know, final and done, but it's really positive so far. So I'll show you a
Nice.
bit of that.
Okay.
And yeah, so we tested many times the things that we thought about. So like all the different solutions, we tested it internally. We shared it with our consultants. We got some good feedback, and they will be playtesting it very soon as well. So we'll get even more feedback.
Man, I want to be a consultant. I'm a playtester, but I'm not a consultant.
And yeah.
We might grab something from that and see what we can show as well.
Oh, my neck.
That would be fun.
Really
yeah,
cool.
we'll see what we can do.
Okay, I think that's yeah, that's all my points. Okay, so that's a new clicker. Right. So the first thing that I want to show is
You can show this stream.
we have
Thank
a
you.
new shrine activation. Sorry, the clicker. Click. Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
So in the prototype that the content creators got
The quality
to
of the
review,
stream's like the best they've
shrines
had.
would all activate, which
So,
meant that as a
very
survivor,
happy
you could
about
literally
this
save your
so far.
teammates without really any risk.
Exactly. Yeah.
So one of the things that we did to try to improve the killer's macro strategy is to make it so that the two closest shrines from the killer, when they banish the survivor, are the ones that activate. So
Oh.
I think you'll be able to see it in this video. Is it? Yeah, okay, it's playing. So you see here, see the bubbles showing you which two shrines were activated.
Huh.
And then the only way to save your friends in exile is to go to the shrines and perform the interaction. whatever you
Interesting.
call it.
Okay.
Right now we've been calling it the repent interaction, but all of these names are internal. Same thing for, you know, controlled pillar, flung pillar, all these things. It's temporary.
I'm really
while
excited for the
narrative
Grimoire
looks up
chapter.
some
It seems really
creative,
cool.
terms
Yeah,
for them.
they don't let me do that because
Yeah.
like we have the words fling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think they'd let that pass.
They-
They probably wouldn't.
No.
Right, so that was number one. Number two is this is from a lot of our internal playtests,
Saving
also with our consultants
Rye?
and external playtests with our playtest squad. One of the things that people kept saying is, if I save people from exile, I want them to be respawned at my shrine. So over here, you might have a bit of trouble seeing it because all the
Oh,
megs are
all
overlapping.
there's three
There were
megs.
3 megs in exile, and I saved them, and they all reappeared at that shrine. Obviously, they're not going to be
megs.
stacked on top of each other like that. They're a little bit more spread out.
I want to see them stacked again.
Will they get
But so the
endurance? Is
idea
my
here is that
question.
there is a bigger risk to go save your friends, but when
Yeah.
you do, they're all going to be with you, and you'll be able to, you know, help them reset or let them run away because, you know, they might want to not heal right
Not
there.
heal at that,
Because the
yeah.
killer does get a notification when the prayer happens or when it's
Oh.
completed, kind of like an unhook, right?
Yeah,
So
I hope
Okay,
I
so
hope it's
yes,
it has
also
endurance
to help
then.
with macro gameplay, because that was a very big point of feedback that we kept getting, and as I said before, when feedback is consistent, we should probably do something about it.
Yeah.
So the next thing, which
No
I saw a
taunting
lot of
allowed,
people
yeah.
being very excited about,
I
is
saw quite a bit about this myself.
no taunting allowed. So I think this is a bit of a lengthier video, but please bear with me. So over here you see Dwight, being a little naughty, pointing at the killer, trying to tease them.
Ah
I'm
ha
amazed
ha.
you didn't use a Neo zebra pants.
Funny you should say that, because I did consider adding a sin for having zebra pants.
Oh, thank you very much.
I-
That's just to get at me, isn't it?
Couldn't figure
Yeah,
it out,
I
but
knew
I really
it.
thought about it.
Me and Hans, we'd be stuck.
Oh, and
So
just
here
staying in
you
the
can
exit
see,
gate, just
Dwight pointing at the
oh my
killer,
god,
he
not
got sinned.
leaving.
Dwight
Oh, people are gonna
shooting
be so
the killer,
angry.
He got sinned, and then staying at the exit gates for too long, he also got sinned. And of
That's
course, I'm not gonna
hilarious.
spoil everything, because there should still be a little bit of surprises with this.
Oh,
whole
I'm
thing,
so excited for this. It's gonna be
stick
so
around, you'll find
funny.
out later.
People are gonna
Mhm.
bitch and
I know
complain
I'm
so
scared 'cause
much.
I don't know.
Okay, the next one is Sin Lingers. So this, maybe I should have swapped these two slides. So the reason why this is here is you may have seen from the Discord staging that we have the skill check penalty when you have Sin. So a lot of us, longtime DBD players will remember Old Ruin.
Yeah,
Um,
Old
You
Ruin.
would
A lot of
see
people hated it.
This and me.
Sorry, I got something in my eye. Making me tear up thinking about the good
I'm
old
making
days.
him cry. I'm so sorry. I've made our guests cry.
And so the idea with this is that Sin used to be an instant removal. So when you
Yeah.
prayed at a shrine to save your teammates, or if you went to a shrine to remove your Sin, it was just gone. And through our playtesting with I'm going to call it the Old Ruin effect, I'm sorry. With the Old Ruin effect is that it didn't really get to be impactful because players could just walk to a shrine and remove it.
Yeah,
So
it
what we're
was.
doing
It's
now
super easy
is
to get
it's
rid
gonna be
of.
a little sped
So
up, but when you pray at a shrine or when you save your friends, it will decrease over time. Right now, it's about 60 seconds. Obviously, it's not final, but it
That's a
depletes over
bit
time,
long.
Which guarantees the killer will get benefit from that effect, right? Because it is a
Yeah.
secondary effect, but it's still an effect that they apply through different means. Which I should probably mention, you can still apply Sin with your pillar, right, with your active power. That's not changed, but
Okay.
the taunting is like I thought it was very fitting, for the judgment to punish
It does.
survivors.
It is. It fits
Yeah.
with that theme,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
So-
I like that.
Right. So here's the little recap from the Discord staging. This is what the skill check penalty looks like. So you'll have a different visual for the skill check, and if you hit the good zone, which is the darker zone, you'll actually lose progression on your repair. progress.
Yeesh, that is
And if you
pretty
hit the great
rough.
one, you're all good.
Question on this. You know what I'm gonna ask.
No, I don't.
Is the color gonna change?
Oh, well, obviously this is from the prototype stream. So what
Yeah.
I did for this is I literally just took Old Ruin and slapped it on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
Oh.
yes, there's discussions for UX happening.
That's cool.
Of, like how to properly show this.
That's good. They could do
Different
that. I didn't know
colors
they could do that.
definitely on the table.
Thank
But I'll
you.
leave it to them to figure that out. I know it's a very, very good topic to cover.
It's hard for because I'm colorblind at that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think Old Ruin was problematic because of that. But I think we've done a lot of.
We've come a long way since
Yes, we
Old
have.
Ruin.
So here, this is not really showing anything new, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to show what kind of controls and hits you could get with
Pillars and
power.
check spots.
So there's various check spots.
I'm very
there's
interested
no
in
check
this.
Spots. It's just really to give you an idea of how it functions when you're playing it.
Whoa,
Um,
Jesus
but I think
Christ!
There's what I like is we had a playtest yesterday, and one of our user research
Holy cow.
colleagues was using the power in a very interesting way. I had never seen anyone use the power like that, and I was like, "Damn, this guy gets it." It was so cool to see.
That's
So-
gonna be fun. Though.
I'm not
Holy
gonna say anything,
shit!
but play around with it, and figure it out. It's so cool. It's so much fun. And
My God, that's
one
crazy.
point, I think it's maybe after this one. I give an example of the new empowered fling, which is really cool because what I did is I made it so that at the very start you can fling it, or sorry, you can control it after you flung it. So it's kind of like
Damn.
you know how Hillbilly has like a small window to do
Yeah.
a curve at the start of his chainsaw. It's
That's-
similar to that.
Okay.
That's gonna be
Like, when you
super
press it
high
off on
skill
the swing,
ceiling.
You have a split-second window where you can control it, and it feels really snappy. Like at first I was trying keeping full control of the pillar during the fling, but that was it was a mess. Like it was so difficult to balance. But with this, it becomes a very skill expressive thing that you can do because it requires you to time it, but also know where to aim it.
Yeah, for
And
real.
so
Like
far from my testing,
that.
it feels really, really good, and I'm really curious
That
to see
looks like it's
what
gonna take a
consultants
lot
will
of skill.
think, and also what players will think once they get to try it.
I'm looking forward to that.
And finally, this is the last bit of the Discord staging. The previous one wasn't. Like I said, my slides were messed up. I apologize. But this is just another showcase of the empowered fling. So I'm going to fling it at the corner, and then I'm going to turn it. To
That's
the right.
really
And
cool.
usually when you fling it,
That's
it
really
just goes in
cool.
a straight line. So you can really see the difference of the empowered pillar versus the regular one. Okay.
I like it.
The next slide. The next slide is
Next
really
slide
cool.
is a really good
It's
one.
really cool.
This-
And before I switch to the next slide, I'm just going to read my bullet points because I want to make sure I don't miss anything about this. So this is something that we have been talking about for a long time. Our UX designers have been, discussing this for. I don't
What
know
are
how long,
they
but a
hinting
long
at
time.
here?
And with this killer, I saw an opportunity to try this out because in the
Oh, is
past,
this the sensitivity?
for example, for
The killer
Trickster,
sensitivity?
Yeah.
Trickster, you've got your controls while you're aiming your
Yeah,
blades and,
sensitivity.
throwing them.
Mm.
But for a controller, what it is we set an arbitrary modifier on that control. And what I mean by that is that, so as
Yeah,
a
it's the
designer,
sensitivity.
I will go in the editor and test what kind of modifier feels right to me with a controller. But that's to me.
To you.
And that is
Yeah.
not everyone
Okay.
else. And so that is a very big problem. And I'm so happy to say that the Judgment will be our first killer where we explore having a unique setting for controlling their pillar.
Yeah.
So
So good.
Sensitivity.
Like, this is a great quality of life feature.
Yeah, just
for controller users.
production, can we show the slide, please? Thank you.
There we go. Thank you.
There we
Yeah.
go. So you can see
Yeah,
here, it's going to live in
the
the beta tab.
sensitivity.
But you'll have the ability to control the sensitivity for mouse.
I'm
or
really
for
excited
controller,
about this. I'll
and
have
it's
to
going
test
be
this out,
on
see what
top
kind of
your
sensitivity I
regular
like
sensitivity setting.
for
So
the mouse.
if player A has their normal sensitivity setting set to 50%, and player B has their normal sensitivity set
I think my
100%,
sensitivity is at
that
100,
modifier
just
will be on
base.
top of that. It will not replace it.
Okay.
So it's really like catered to your specific preference for sensitivity controls.
I like
I
it.
think that's why it's so cool, and I am beyond excited to have this.
Yeah.
finally
I'm very
so
excited. I
happy
hope
that's
more
it.
killers get
Yeah.
It's not only
this.
great for players, but it's also good for us to validate. Like, hey, does this work? Can we support this?
Yeah.
And then if we can, we
Because
can
if
find
more
ways to expand
killers,
it and apply
yeah,
it to
if
other
more
killers in the
killers
future.
can get
So,
No, that's
modify
perfect.
like
And
sensitivity
it is something
modifiers
that
to them as
you
well,
can look
I
at
would
putting
love
out.
that because
yes.
like
killer.
there's certain
It's
killers where
not
like
just good.
their aiming
the
is
future, for
a lot
sure.
different
But right now, this is like the testing grounds.
than
We're
other
giving it a
ones.
shot,
Like
we're
a
seeing what
Death
the
Slinger's
reaction
aim
is,
is
we're
way
seeing how it
different than
works,
a
what
Huntress's
can we
aim.
improve in the way that we implement it,
So,
and then we'll see how to.
I hope that
roll
this
it
gets
out to other
implemented for
killers
everyone.
afterwards. 'Cause
Perfect.
I know the UX team is like, we want this.
Yeah, I think we all want this, and I think it's brilliant for our console players
Yeah.
because like I play Survivor on a controller, but I play Killer on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe now I can just like sit back.
it's
and
so
make
weird.
with my
That's a
controller
I
and
I don't think I've ever
so
met
that'll
someone
be
who
cool.
plays on
agree.
both like
Okay,
for different roles.
So next steps for me and the team working on the Grimoire. So we have feature complete, which is
They
creeping
talked
up
about
on
this.
us, which is one of our many
Very
deadlines
quickly.
in the production. But what feature complete is basically the product has to be in a testable state for QA to start testing and finding bugs so that we can fix them and polish before PTB and release. So it's very soon, and so like I said, the team has been implementing, like I saw an animation earlier. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. So I'm like super excited for everyone to see because I'm like,
yeah,
I want
you
to
wanna
share it.
show.
I can't, but I want to share
know.
it. But yeah, so the next thing is, of course, when we move from the prototype to implementation, because the implementation is built in a much more robust way, sometimes it will feel different from the prototype because the prototype is like done quickly and dirty to test things as quickly as
Okay.
possible. So what will happen often is that the way a control feels will be slightly different. And so one of the big things that I'll be spending time on is making it feel as closely to the prototype as possible because we want it to
Yeah,
look
because
just
a
as
lot of
good, right?
times like
'Cause right now,
things
on the
can
prototype,
change
it's felt really nice,
unexpectedly.
but in the implementation, there will be differences in the way that it is just because we have a lot more things to consider and
I never
clean
knew that.
code, I would say.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never even that
Yeah,
never
yeah.
even entered
Yeah.
my head.
Like
to
I was
be
testing it
honest.
earlier, and it's like it didn't feel as snappy. It didn't feel quite as smooth. And I know the programmer working on it has done a fantastic job at implementing it. It works really nicely. But in terms of controls, there's some adjustments I have to do with the numbers to get back to that feeling.
Okay.
And like
I'm
from the-
hoping
from
stuff
the
can
quick
stay
test I
pretty
did
much the
before
same.
This blitz of streaming, it already feels good with the number tweaks I did, but yeah, it's just one of those steps that we have to go through.
I'm excited, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always wonder, you message me, I'm fine tuning. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Just adjusting the numbers. And of course, there's going to be lots of playtesting internally with our consultants. Hi, guys. And of course, the external playtesters as well that we have with our user research team. And with all the feedback that we get from those playtests, it helps refine the final product before PTB. And of course, when it hits PTB, you guys help us refine it even more by pointing out, things that work well, things that don't, and the goal is just to have like the best killer ever on release.
I'm really hoping this chapter comes out without
And,
any big hitches, and
I guess
that's
it.
it's just
My
super
last
fun to
bullet
play
point
on
is,
both
like I said,
sides.
I'll be spending a lot of time fine-tuning the numbers and writing documentation, because that's a lot of what I do, updating docs.
Keeping the records.
Yeah.
You're a record keeper like a librarian. Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it for me.
Well,
That's my update.
Thank
Nice,
you
nice.
so much, Jeff.
I'm really
Very
excited
much
for the
explaining
Grimoire.
all
I
that.
think it's going to
been
be a
lot
fun
fun.
chapter.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the next steps come to fruition.
I'm hoping
on
that
this.
too, and I can't
that
wait to share more
like
as well.
just
Like,
issues just don't
Oh,
occur,
definitely.
you
This
know.
is not the
Like I
end
said-
you're going to hit.
like I
We're
said,
going to be bringing more
Don't
things.
leave, because there's some really cool stuff
There
about to be
is.
shown on this stream, and I will be going back to my desk to watch it as well. Okay.
Me too.
Is it more
Me too.
Grimoire stuff
Thank you
or
for
is
being
it
with us. Bye.
other stuff?
Stay tuned.
I wonder if they're just going to be talking about the current vote. But yeah, this stream so far has been great. Like, audio has been nice. The slides have been really good. I still think they need to have just full production team control it, not like with a clicker. But this has been leagues better. It's been one of my biggest complaints for this stuff is like the dev streams, and I wish they had like a suggestion form for it. So I'm very pleased by how it's been changed. Like, there hasn't been any major hiccups. Like, they had some missing audio with the first transition that they had to start up with the Grimoire section, but I'm very pleased. Oh. Did we speak too soon? Never mind. Okay. Maybe I spoke too soon. I mean, regardless, it's been running way smoother than it has been. Like, my biggest complaint with the dev streams is that like it felt so bad to watch. Like, it was just rough. But I'm very happy with the quality of the stream so far. Hey, welcome in, Lena. Hope you're doing well. No, they just showed some footage of what's to come for the chapter. They showed the killer and how you control the power. They showed how you can save Stars of Exile. They showed how you get Sin from being like taunting the killer, like pointing at them, teabagging, the watch me leave, and the exit gate stuff. But they did not talk about the last voting results. But they said to stay tuned, and they have the screen up, then it kind of like broke, and then they refreshed it. So we're waiting to see like what we're gonna be getting. Okay. That was a weird thing, but the killer looks like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna have a high skill ceiling. It's probably not gonna be a killer I enjoy to play personally, but I still like this chapter and I'm really excited about it. but I am very hopeful. I'm hoping that the chapter comes out pretty much without any kinks. I'm hoping it does okay, but again, we will have to see. Now we're just waiting for behavior to come back. Oh, here we go.
Hi everyone, Omnia here.
Oh, there's a
We're
lot of
still
people
gonna be talking
here.
about the Grimoire a little more. First, we're going to give you an update on the progress we've made so far with Jay for the art direction, but also with Anna, who's going to be talking to us about the VFX aspect of it. Anna is joining us remotely today. I'm just going to say hi.
Makes sense. Killer can remind me of
Anna,
Stranger Things
are you
Vecna.
here?
I mean, yeah, a lot of the like
Anna's
pre
here. Perfect. We're gonna
like
get right back
Viz
to you
footage
right
we've
after,
seen is
to
I
talk
mean
to us a bit
they're
about
using
the
like
VFX progress
assets they
we've made
currently
so far.
have. So
We're also
I definitely
joined
think the
by
targeting
Fred,
thing is
who's
a
gonna talk to us
Vecna
about the
like
theme music
remnant.
you're getting
They're
to
gonna
vote
make it
on
more
today.
unique
The vote is live.
as they polish
And
stuff
also
off.
Bruno to talk to us about the key art concept that you're also getting to vote
Because
on
like the
today. So
sword that it's using
lots
is a
of
spirit
exciting
sword and stuff like
things,
that. So
but let's start with you, Jay, to talk to us a bit about the art direction. You know, we voted on a lot of things so far. We've made it.
because like even the shrine right
so
now
maybe
is
you
just
can
the
give
plague
us a bit of an
fountains.
update on how
So
that's going.
Yes.
Because a lot of decisions have been made.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm super excited to be here today to actually give everybody a glimpse.
I think this
of
is the
how
most
we're
people we've
making the
had
direction on
on a Dead by
gameplay
Daylight stream
element
like
and,
this.
developing a killer essentially. So today we will have a little glimpse of concept that we usually do when we are developing a new killer. Obviously, because they are work in progress concept, these things can actually change while they advance. So today I'm going to share a little glimpse of the development inside how we are making our actual killer. But please keep in mind that these things, when are implemented in game, they can evolve, they can change, and they will evolve with the rest of the game.
Definitely have. As a
Yeah,
playtester
that's it, 'cause
myself,
even though
stuff
the
has
votes are
changed so
ending today,
much
there's just
from
so
what stuff
much
I've
work
tested when
left to
it's
do
come
on
to
our side,
live.
you know, behind the scenes, and we'll give you some updates, you know, as we go. But a lot of things are still, you know, bound to change a little bit as we work our magic.
Absolutely. So I think we can start with the first one. All right, so here we're showing ray of retribution. So this is the
Production, we
concept art
can't
that
see it.
made, to showcase how we want visually the ray of retribution to
Welcome
look.
in,
So as you
Jason.
can see, there are different states in them. So the first state is really about the charging. So we are showcasing something that will be a little bit more slower, more.
Oh, here you go.
refined,
This
essentially,
is exactly what you were
armor
saying,
as
Lena.
well. And then once we will unleash it, we will actually make it really aggressive and really intense.
It looks really
We
cool.
could also see on the visual that we have
can't wait
this
to see that in
contrast
game.
between something very, very light and shadows inside of it. This will be important because it's a theme that we will actually use quite a lot on the judgments when we will define all the visual. So yeah, this is our plan right now, how we will make the ray of retribution evolve.
Looks great. Very
Thank
excited
you.
to see it in
Yes.
action.
Ooh, will it be with
in
the
game.
left hand instead of the right?
Absolutely.
I guess that would
We
make
can look
sense,
at
right?
The next one
For the
now.
power.
So this is the concept for the Cine Effect.
Yeah, in
so
my
I
video,
believe
I
this
said, like,
one,
Cine
we
Effect
actually already
reminds me of
shared the work in
Vecna.
progress,
Yes.
of that. But here I'm showing the concept that we made initially to show the vision of where we wanted to go. So the Cine Effect essentially for us, it was a
I'm
way to
drunk
show,
is the name of this this
judgment
player.
basically corrupting the survivor,
Okay.
taking possessions of their mind and controlling them essentially. So we wanted to showcase something that has a sort of distortion effect inside of it, but it had to link with the divine as well. So the color palette will actually remind us of Hopeless Exile as well.
Ooh.
So that's something that we will be looking into.
Very exciting.
Thank you.
We're moving on next to
Yes,
the Hopeless
we
Exile.
can look at the next one. So
Yeah, and we
here,
saw this
I'm
as
showing
well.
a prototype, so a very early.
I can't wait to
knockout
see this
of,
being finished.
Level art and level designs for Hopeless Exile. So
I
gives
hope
a
it
little
looks
bit of a
really
glimpse of
cool.
the space we will actually have inside that area. And what we can see here is that we intend to have a big statue of the Judgment be present at the middle as a very imposing element, but it
I'm
also
I'm wondering if
as a
that
landmark
statue
so
will
that there
change
can
depending on your
orientate
cosmetic.
within the space there. So something important to note as well about Hopeless Exile is that on our direction, we are really pushing forward two big themes here, which are essentially the same theme that we're going for with the Judgments. So the first one is the divine aspect. We want Hopeless Exile to really feel like a paradise, a perfect place, essentially. And this was essentially the vote that we made on Hopeless Exile with the community. They help us essentially choose how visually we would represent that.
I'm very excited to
The
see
other
the
aspect,
final
of
version
Hopeless
of
Exile
this.
that we were looking into was the horror part because we are DBD and we need that
Absolutely.
horror side of thing. So here it's the cosmic horror side of thing that we want to inject within Hopeless Exile, and we were doing that with telling a little bit the story of the space in a sense that Hopeless Exile, as a first look, looks like the perfect place, but when you look carefully inside, you realize that Hopeless Exile is actually built by the victim of the Judgment, and they are essentially stuck and agonizing there inside that space. So that's
So
something
yeah,
that's
it's
really
basically
important
like
to us
another
with our
entity
direct
realm.
design, and we will be able to show more of that.
This is
moving
exactly
forward with,
like it's exactly like the
Hence the
entity
hopeless in
and
hopeless
what it does with the
exile, you know?
trials,
it's supposed to be like we really want that space to feel like it's a paradise. It's perfect.
or
but
like
at the
basically
same
like
time,
an
you have that
angel sending you
conflicting
straight to
feeling,
hell.
I want to get out of here. This is not a
Yeah,
safe space.
something's going on here.
Exactly. There's some weird thing happening, and I'm uncomfortable being here essentially.
That looks great. Very excited to see the final product.
Yeah, and we can look into some of more details about Hopeless Exile that we were moving forward. So here we're seeing our concept for the artifact. So the artifact is essentially the item that you use when you
Ooh,
get to Hopeless Exile to collect what we
I like the
internally call
design
the
of that. That looks
crystals.
cool.
So the idea here is that artifact will be found by the survivor the moment he will land into that space. I don't want to talk too much about where that artifact come from. I can just give a glimpse that it's connected in
This
some
is
way
cool.
to,
So like a little
Aurora,
mini game type of thing
our new
inside of it.
survivor. So the survivor will find that item and will essentially use it to absorb the crystals that are inside Hopeless Exile to be able to get out of that space.
We don't want to reveal too much
No,
just
exactly.
yet. There's more to come closer to the PTB and the release.
Yes.
But that's very exciting. And that's, we give them just
I
enough,
like
you know,
that
to
how
look
that
forward to it.
looks.
Exactly.
Do you think
So
they'll
now we
sell
will
that
look a
as like
little bit
actual
more into
merch?
detail as what we internally call the crystals. So these here, we call them the crystals because they were the collectible that we were essentially
That looks really cool.
gathering with the artifact inside Hopeless Exile. In reality, they're not really crystals. We will redefine them while we are advancing on the production. But what we're doing here
That looks
is to
really, really
showcase
cool.
that
I
these
like that a
entities
lot.
Are essentially living creature inside Hopeless Exile, stuck inside these statues and divine.
Yeah, it's basically like
elements, and
the Phantom
survivors
Zone
essentially
or the
freeing
Null
these
Void
people
from
that are
Ben
stuck
10.
inside Hopeless Exile and helping them essentially escape. So we're twisting the crystal.
This is a hint. We're getting Ben 10 in Dead by Daylight.
In its environment.
I think it's really interesting, you know, to see the process of taking all of these votes and building not only the visual, but how it ties.
I
back
really
to the
like the
narrative,
art direction
that
for
we
this.
haven't
It's
revealed
very
everything
cool.
just
It's very
yet, but
different.
just like the depth, you know, it gets
It's not like
more and
something we've
more,
had.
developed over time.
Yeah,
It's really
exactly.
interesting.
Yeah. And I have one last thing that I would like to share with everybody. It is the concept for the hazards
Whoa.
that are inside Hopeless Exile. So have you seen, as you've seen with the prototype,
That's
we have a lot
cool.
of these collision
That's
elements
really
that
cool.
we
I like the
gems
tormented
while
like
we were collecting,
faces inside of the
different
ray.
artifacts. So what I'm showing here is our intention in terms of visual to define what are essentially.
I'm really
these
excited
pillars.
for
And
this.
as I was saying earlier,
This will probably
Hopeless
come out in
Exile is a
fall,
space about
or like
people suffering
the end
inside
of
the wall that have
2026.
lived that space. And what we're essentially showcasing here is that these hazards will
Depending
be,
on
a
development
visual
time and if
indication
they
of
have
people
any issues
essentially
they run
descending
into.
upon the realm and getting stuck inside the wall of Hopeless Exile. So you around you will be surrounded that people that the judgment has brought inside that space and stuck inside the Hopeless Exile. So we have a different chronology here on the concept to show the starting elements. So essentially the ground will sort of crack divinely, and we will show
This is
blood
cool. I hope I get to
will
play
stuck
test
inside
this.
of
I really
the bit
do.
that are coming out, and then after the beam will essentially descend into that crack to trap people inside of it.
So in short, you're working on making the Hopeless Exile feel really hopeless.
Yes, yes. we really want that space to have that duality between it's divine, it's perfect, but it also is quite horrific. And this is all elements that we're working on individually to build all of that together and make something super interesting.
I know we gave players an update, very recently in our latest blog post, but I think it's really, really cool that we get to see a bit more here during, the stream. Before we move on, to the VFX, do you have anything you want to share about the process so far of turning all of these votes, into the visuals and maybe where we are right now? How has that gone?
Yeah, so right now we're working with all the votes we've got, and we're building everything we need to build essentially to have that killer be finalized and everything. Sorry. So right now we are working on the models. So because we had the vote on the character, we are working super hard to actually produce them in 3D, because obviously we'll need them to be seen in the game and everything. So this is a big part of the focus that we're doing right now. And next to that, we are working on the concept that I just told you. So today was a glimpse of.
I'm really looking forward to this chapter. I hope it comes out really well.
That need a visual art direction. That we're continuing to progress on that. So these are other concepts that we are producing right now to define the full package that the judgment will be.
Very exciting. A lot of work left to do on the visual side of things, but we'll make sure to give our players updates as we go. The votes might be ending. Today might be the last vote, but we'll make sure that we keep you updated as, how the Grimoire progresses and give you, a little bit of a look behind the scenes. But yeah, thank you so much, Jay, for coming today to show us, a bit more of what we're working on. And this is actually great because now that we've talked about the art direction, we can pass it off to Anna to, talk us a little bit more about the
sound design
visual effects. And, now that we have the art
VFX, all right.
can you maybe, tell us a bit more about
I like her
what work you have
glasses.
already done and, what's going to be coming
She's
next?
got the cool hoodie.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, she's so loud.
This killer is really VFX heavy. I don't know if that's really.
She is so
obvious
loud.
to people looking from the other side.
I'm gonna
of
lower
things,
her.
but,
I'm gonna lower the
the
stream a
first
bit 'cause
thing
that's
that
so loud.
is the priority is the Ray of Retribution, so the pillar for the killer. We do have a slide to share the progress of the pillar. So I'm not sure if production can bring up that slide. I can start talking about the pillar.
Oh my god.
But this is probably the most complicated
Ooh.
effect that we have for the judgment, because I think there's about 21 different elements to get this pillar to work. And I would just like to say, disclaimer, this is not final.
Holy
This is
crap,
very,
that
very
looks
early,
cool.
But I've been working very hard to get a first pass in to show everyone. And the program I'm working with, Daniel, has also been helping me get this pillar to work. There's a lot of different states that the pillar has to be in, where it's controlling. Is it canceling controlling? Is it flung?
That's cool.
And we still
That
have
looks
to
really
tackle
cool.
the empowered state, but it's coming along. You might notice that it looks a little different than most of the VFX in DBD, and that's because we had to kind of approach this effect to make sure that we fit all the technical constraints. We worked early on with the rendering team to figure out the best way to approach how to have a giant technically translucent object that's going to be covering the screen. So we wanted to make sure we could make it look good and also not drop performance for the players and hitch out and be able to not.
That's my biggest
the pillar when it flies
fear
by.
is that this is gonna
so
make
I feel like the style
players
is a bit
on
stylized for
weaker
the VFX, which is really
animation,
cool to be working
weaker
on, 'cause
machines
it's a new
struggle
challenge
seeing
for
these
me.
animations and stuff.
And Jay and his team did a wonderful job coming up with the concepts, and I think they look pretty. It looks pretty cool so far. So as
Yeah,
I
you can
said,
see the
really
after
early,
image
but
is
it's
like the path
progressing.
it'll go.
Really cool, I gotta say.
It does look really
It
cool.
looks amazing.
Oh, he left.
Maybe we want to show a bit of the sin next.
Yes, sin. So you just saw the concept Jay shared. So my integration of this is going to be a little bit different, but I've been working closely with Jay to get the feeling right, to kind of fit shape, communication, and color. So this is the sin on the survivor so far.
Looks interesting. I wonder if
It's
this will be
supposed to
the
represent the
view
exile. I tried my best to
on
be able to represent all three colors of it. I
the
think it's
killer's
coming
end.
through,
You'll be able to
but
see that
it's
effect.
kind of intended to feel like you're losing your mind a little bit, like there's chaos happening and you're confused. So I designed the material for the effect to kind of spin around, so it kind of made these spikes go really chaotic. And we also have like a random like sign calculation on the scale of the particle and then on the rotation, so it's constantly shaking and scaling up. So I'm hoping that the intention that Jay was trying to get is going to come across with the VFX, but so far it's pretty strong. And given that we have the new changes with the sin, so it will decay over time, I'll be iterating it on
I
it
am very
still, but
curious
it's
if
a
the
pretty good
killer
base
can
so
see
far.
the effect on their end.
It looks amazing. I also think it's really interesting
Thank
to
you.
see, Jay talked a little bit about, the art direction and, the how we get to those visuals, and how we get to that idea based on all the votes we've had, and also based on, the conversations we have internally, but also seeing how you're bringing this to life through visual effects is also really interesting, and it's something I don't think we've really ever shown to our players for
No,
once.
we've never seen
At
like
least
this
at DBD we didn't
process,
really get
so
to. But with the grimoire, we
I
really get
like
to
it.
walk them
I'm
through
always a
that
sucker for
process
this
of,
type of behind the
taking
scenes stuff.
things, taking all these elements that we've voted on, taking all
Here,
these
let's
different things
higher the
and
volume
putting them
again.
together to really breathe life into in this case, a new killer and a new survivor.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
Okay,
hoping that
I'm gonna have to deal with her
players
being so
understand that
much
VFX
louder.
can be sometimes a little abstract to get, but the art direction's so cool, so I'm really excited to continue working on it.
Yeah, and even it's really, like you mentioned, it's a bit abstract because it's something that you don't necessarily think about when it's happening behind the scenes. But here we really get to see the process of bringing it to life, and also how important it is to the gameplay. Because when you're playing, when you're going through a trial, you don't necessarily think, oh, this is this is visual effects. This is something I'm seeing, but it's giving you so much information about what's going on around you, and what's happening, and feedback as well about, in this case, sin or things like that. So it's a really important element of tied to the gameplay as well.
For sure, yeah.
And maybe you can tell us a bit more about what we're going to work on next. There's still a lot of things coming, still a lot of things we got to work on to bring this chapter to life.
Yes. So there's definitely a lot to continue working on next. As I said, it's very
Yeah.
VFX heavy killer. So my next focus
I'm very
is working on
curious,
the
like
exile
if
assets.
it's gonna
So I
be
do have a little sneak
their
peek video
fall
of that if we want to share.
chapter, considering this.
The exile hazards that Jay shared in his concept.
You said it was a
and
Star
the
Wars shirt. Now you're
crystals.
saying it's Art the
So
Clown
this is just
shirt.
a
You
test. This is
gotta
nowhere
pick
near
one.
Final, but I ran a test to kind of lerp the emissive color on the crystals'
Oh,
faces to
look
show
at
that
that.
we're in a distance to absorb them. So it was a test that I
Yeah,
wanted
look,
to
the
do
color
from the start,
changes.
so we could try and get the most
Whoa.
optimal way to do it without having
Holy
to
crap,
make it really
look at that.
expensive. And these are the hazards. So I only put these in, I think, 2 days ago, so they are very early.
I wonder how hard it's gonna
But
be
yeah, these
to
are
avoid
what you're
these.
gonna be dodging when you're in the exile. Getting the suffering victim faces is gonna be something that we'll have to iterate on. It's definitely not going to be easy to do, and we've already been coming up with possible ideas to make it more obvious, but they are starting to look really cool, and I'm hoping that by the time we ship, it'll look really, really fantastic.
God, it looks like a lot.
That's great. Thank you so much, Anna, for joining us today. We're so grateful. I know you're joining us remotely, and it's a little bit different. But thank you for joining us and for talking through the VFX with us and all the progress we've made.
Very, very interesting. I'm very
Yes,
curious
thank you
if
so much
this
for
is
having
going to
me.
be the fall chapter or if it's going to
It's
be
great.
the
And we'll
end
make
of
sure to give you more
2026. I
updates
feel like the
about,
end of 2026 like the latest
about
this can
what's
come
coming
out.
on the side of VFX. We've already done so through a lot of blog
But
posts and a lot of
I feel like
updates.
it has to be like the
But I
August or
think,
September
there's still a
chapter.
lot to show in terms of visual effects about what's coming. So even though the votes
For
are,
sure.
this is our last vote, we'll make sure that.
I mean, they
players
had
get
to get rid of a
see
lot of
what's
votes
working, what we're
because
working
of
on and what's
development
going on
time.
behind the scenes.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And we're going to move on now to the votes. The votes we have today, the votes you can actually vote on right now. And we're going to start with you, Fred, to talk a little bit about the music. This is a bit different. Because,
Music,
a lot
yes.
of the votes we've had, we got to see a little bit throughout the process. Our votes sometimes we gave them a little bit of a preview, an early look, but the music really is something that players only get to see now. So it's very fresh. It's something that is very unique that they haven't really seen before for the Grimoire. So maybe you can tell us a bit more about the process behind creating the theme music and how that ties back to all the votes and everything we've had before.
Yes, yes. Like you said, it's unique, and we have
That
our
is
own
not
challenge.
Art the Clown. That looks like
But
Michael
let's start with
Myers.
the normal process. What I do,
Pareidolia, man. You see things that
usually
you
for
believe
killers,
you want to see.
Normally, I try to find the personality, what is unique to a killer. Each killer has his own theme music, and I need to link that theme with the character, the personality, and so we have to answer a lot of questions, like the origin. Is that
Yeah, I'm
specific
pretty sure it's a
country?
Myers shirt. I can
Maybe
even probably Google
sometimes it
here
already
to
attached to a
crash
specific,
the yep
style of
party
music,
Michael Myers.
Trickster, by example.
I found the
So we need
exact
to get
shirt. That's a Michael
all
Myers
those information.
Michael
But with the
Myers shirt.
grimoire, that was a challenge because a lot of answers was not answered.
So no, it is not Art the
Or
Clown.
so what's the good time to start working on the music, and we can't, and we have to start because we have to deliver the music at a certain point. So there's a lot of little challenge like that in the process. So that was a learning experience. I
Can
really
imagine.
liked it. But I mean, in all the normal process, we identify the killer, can also identify the gameplay. Is that an aggressive killer? Is that a quiet killer, like stealthy? Is that a loud killer or not? We can choose different kind of
Yeah, that is a Michael Myers shirt.
on that. So so next step, what's the instruments we will use? What the style of the music?
Also, I want to point out, I know Dead by
instrumental,
Daylight and Behavior
linked to the
tease all
music.
stuff, and sometimes
So,
clothing
and
can be
then
used as
I told my
teasers, but not all the
composer,
time.
Michel April,
So,
awesome composer,
most of the time,
did a
it's
great
just
job.
what the person
And
wants to
we got
wear.
together, and then we involve in that. We make that direction involving something really unique and with his own identity. So so we did that. Another challenge with the grimoire was that okay, it's good to be inspired with all the good visual that we see, but we had to be inspired 3 times because we have to propose a choice.
Yes.
So yeah, it tripled the production. So, but it was challenging, but it was super interesting to do it 3 times and work on it. So I'm super happy. I'm glad to be part of the grimoire to have a choice to the player because I really
I like that too.
relation.
I
with
also
the
like
players. It's
being able
unique.
to
Like you said, it's
choose
super
like
unique.
my
I
own
mean,
chapter
they
and
will
stuff.
choose the theme.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so that's the process that where we are right now, and starting from that, we will make the Terrigious and then also the Survivor music and all the rest of the music, because always all the Terrigious are based. The start point is the menu, the killer menu theme music. So we
Yeah,
always start with
I
that.
bet one of the
Sometimes
scrapped
instrument,
votes
but-
would have been
so
like
that's
the
working on that.
Terradius and
Yeah.
chase music
So
and stuff.
we're waiting the
But
choice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this will define a lot still
the
for the
vo-
chapter and the sound.
we have run out of time.
And because you do need everything to be cohesive at the end of the day, to really not only sell, we're not just selling the fantasy of a killer or of a survivor, but of this new almost world we're introducing to the fog. So it's just we do need it to be cohesive and to make a lot of sense. And maybe you can talk a little bit about the process of were you trying to propose three very different musics, or were you trying to like kind of still have
It
something
was such a hard
signature
choice
for you? Like, what
between
was the
B or
process
C.
when you
They were both
really did say
so
it's
like
three? You
good.
have to come up with three themes. What does that look like?
Yeah, but exactly. It's not.
I think A
we
was the
get
weakest
inspired
one.
and we start with that point and we create music. No, it's already it's all different instruments, all different approach. It could be more religious, and God, and then cosmic horror, and so there's different style that we had to find really unique and really different because it's you don't choose a difference between it's three different
Yeah.
music. So yes,
getting warm here. I'm gonna turn on
in
my
that process,
AC.
we when I talked with Michel, it was okay. Starting with this direction, what could be the music and the style? Next one and next one. So really three distinct music.
And were you, did you follow a bit the process over time? Because this has been a year, almost a year and a half long process. Did you follow the process over time a little bit to kind of like get inspiration early on, or was this? Did you really want to go into it, almost blind, only with the votes that we, what we, where the point we've reached now?
Half of it, because in both sides, because normally I start with pre-production and I have enough information, but that unknown from the votes, it was okay. Should I wait? Should I not wait?
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah, the
I
voting
did
thing
both.
does
So
make the
at some
development
point
time kind
I
of
was
like
ready,
out of
but I
whack.
was waiting some
So
information to be confirmed.
You need to start thinking about it. You need to put yourself in the world of, the grimoire, but then you also need to wait to be able to capture the votes of the players. So it's a balance between the two. That's great. So maybe you can tell us what players can expect from, the three themes they get to vote on.
It's a preview. That's a preview of the three themes.
yeah, I wish it was
So,
longer. I
20
wish it wasn't
seconds
just a
each.
preview, so I
So,
can
I don't want
like
to
get
say
more
my
to
preference.
decide.
I want them to vote and let me know. I'm super thrilled to see the result. Maybe I guess right, maybe not. I don't know. So I'm super thrilled. Yes.
I mean, I think
So,
B's gonna win. I think
Very
B's
often
been
we're
the big
surprised,
favorite.
like we, internally we do talk about, the votes and what we think, but many times we're surprised by what ends up being, the winner. And something that a lot of the devs have mentioned too is that, when we propose three themes, we really propose three themes we would love to see in the game. So even though some of us may have, we want.
This
theme
is
A,
a
theme
really
B,
long
theme C,
dev
or
stream.
like,
This has
we
gone
want
on
these themes.
for
We're excited.
almost an
We're
hour.
really excited. Whatever choice we see being picked. So,
we will respect the vote. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it's going to become, very defining for the chapter. So we're going to play those for you if you haven't listened to them yet.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Fred,
Thank
to
you.
talk a bit about the music. And we're going to give you, if you haven't voted yet, we're going to give you a preview of the three themes you will get to vote on. So thank you.
I mean, they're all pretty good, but I think A's the weakest. Yeah, so that was A. Oh. Okay, here we go. B was nice. I think B's probably like the best one, but C is so close. C is so close, but I think B is
Honestly, I'm okay with
is
all three. I don't know about
like
you.
the winner.
Yeah, I have a preference, but
We don't say anything. We don't say anything.
Not say anything?
We're going to let you vote. You need to vote. You need to tell us what you want to see. And then we can talk about what you prefer behind
Yeah.
the scenes. But yeah, honestly, I would be excited about either
So
of them.
good.
Yeah, very, very excited to see them in the game. But enough about music.
Yeah.
Because you're here to talk to us about the key art players
Exactly.
get to vote on today.
Yes.
Yeah, the
And
key art.
maybe before we talk about the two options, maybe you can walk us through the process of creating a key art behind
Yeah.
a chapter, because that's something that's very defining for a chapter.
Yeah, it's very defining for a chapter, and it's something that we do like in marketing.
Oh,
we do
nice
that with
Texas
each
Chainsaw Massacre
chapter,
shirt.
and we are going through basically three main things before creating a key image. So we see the eye-level chapter presentation, which is like just a big presentation of all the things that we are going
Yeah,
to
this is a lengthy
work on this
community
chapter.
stream.
So
I was
with the
not
survivor,
expecting such
what
a
are
long
they
stream. I thought it
about,
was going to be like 30
where
minutes,
are
maybe
they
an hour.
from, what's the references and everything. Same thing about the killer, same thing about the map, if there is a map or something like that. After that, we see the eye-level chapter narrative. So sometimes there's lore related to that, and there's a lot of things that we can learn about those characters that can inspire us to do anything. Like there's like any reference is very good at that moment because we don't know anything at that moment. And after that, also we see early concept, like production concepts that they are doing in the first few weeks after the presentation, and it's really eye-opening where you see like, okay, where is this going exactly, and where am I going with that key art and this imagery. And also we are working on a key art, but we're also thinking about trailers, thinking about like all the ways we're gonna communicate about this game to you, the players. So we're starting with that. And after that, if I'm segueing into the Grimoire, it's going
Oh,
into
look at all
that.
those
Like, we
references.
are
Jesus.
starting with a lot of references. So thinking about everything that has been taught to us about that character. So we thought about the killer, and we were like, okay, like we are like, is this angelic, demonic? Is this like divine or anything? Like there was many themes. There was like all those themes surrounding the killer, which were very interesting. And there was dark side and light side, which was very interesting as well, because you don't know yet, like, oh, we're going dark or are we going light? And as
We
you can
go
see on
gray.
the left, we were really inspired by
I like these
old,
references. Jesus.
Baroque painting, tenebrism, and stuff.
They're all
like that,
really pretty.
Angels.
I
We
like
are
this one the
also
most right here.
interested in
That looks
what
really
is
cool.
done in most recent art for like angels, divine beasts, and stuff like that. So we were looking at all of that,
Very
and
cool.
colors and everything, and we're really inspired, like way inspired about this, and seeing the reaction of the players online also, and them like just like thinking about all those things about
Yeah.
that new killer and that new survivor really got our creative juices up. So it was like really cool process to be a part of, because also we are never creating a key art this way specifically. Like normally we know a lot more. Now we like Fred said, like I mentioned before, like there's little by little information that you get, so it can change, it can become something else. So we adapted to that. And
I'm
we
curious
added a
if
broad image
for
of
the
it all.
judgment, if they're gonna make
So
it
after
like
that, concept phase.
like
So we
kind of like
went
the
into a
Legion, where
concept
like a
phase,
skin can change
and,
its perceived gender.
at home, like you all see, you all have seen those images. Maybe some you didn't see before.
Yeah, we didn't see
but we
image 2,
were pretty focused
3,
on what we were going to
or
do.
4.
The only thing that was
We saw image 1,
necessarily like
5, and
is
6.
this or that. We were wondering about that killer, how we would show the killer during in the key art, because like you have a limited amount of space. You need to show like those big like big full wings, and you need to show also like those like crab spider legs and the ornaments on the legs and everything. There's a lot of detail on that
Should probably
character,
pin this
and also
so
the
that people
power, like everything
know.
that character does. And after that, how do you show the survivor? Like,
That's it.
is she praising that
There we
killer?
go.
Is she afraid of that killer? Is she surprised? So we went in many different directions, but I think like one thing that is like very surprising about the vote until now is that they went like they went like the way like we would like to, because like I was like, oh, I hope this wins, like it's so good. So they went this way. I'm really happy with the votes. But anyway, at the beginning, we knew that there was something very special about this, and this is still very early work. By the way, it's not in any way finished, and it still needs a lot of details and a lot of work in it. But now
I
we're
love
up
this
to
behind the
two
scenes
options.
stuff. It's always super nice.
So
Yeah, the
both
two
of
options that
those
we're voting
options
on,
we have
which
today.
I
So
voted for
there
this.
is this option, which is a very dark approach. So really going towards something tenebrous, dark,
I like this one.
ominous.
I think
And
this one's
going
so
into
cool looking.
that it's like an angel.
It's like more
It's an
cathedral.
angel of death, but it's like there's no hope at all, and there's no question about it. And on the other side, we are going with kind of a light option. So everything feels
I like
angelic.
I like the
and
first option way
divine,
more
and
for
you're
me.
like, oh my God, it's like, is this going to save me, or is this going to do something else? So two very different approach, both anchored in horror, but one maybe more into the divine aspect of things, and the other more into that horror aspect of things. But I think both
Fine.
have a very interesting approach, and it's mostly in colors now. And after that, of course, we're gonna work on the pose, the details, and everything that needs to get into that image to get it out. But we can't wait to see what the players will vote. It's really exciting for us. So yeah.
Very excited to
Very.
see. And it's really interesting to see too that, you know, even with a key art, those two different options you mentioned, one is really like tenebrous and it's like very dark and there's no
check.
hope, and the other one
Okay.
is more about this almost false
I only got one more
sensitivity,
skip.
you know, because it's angelic, and it's really interesting to see
One more
how
skip for
even these
ads.
choices
This is
help
going
you
on
to
much longer than I
define a bit
thought it
more
was gonna
the
go.
world
Yeah.
of the chapter and the world of the grimoire, and which direction are we going in, and what does that tell us about the killer, you know, and what does that tell us about their backstory and things
Exactly.
like that. So it's really fascinating to see,
Yeah.
and very excited.
Story unfolds before us.
Yes.
It's so cool to see that.
It's really cool, and it's very unique because it's not something we've really done
Yeah.
before. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about, you know, like you've talked a bit about the process, and how was it different this time, really almost having players at the table with us, you know, making those decisions. How did that impact, you know, the process for you? Because a lot of, you know, the like Fred and even, you know, Jeff mentioned it today, and even you know, it's just we have to take all of these choices into account, and that is a big challenge, one that is so exciting to take on. But how did that really affect, you know, the process for you?
It's very different because you're it's kind of like it's like having a good conversation with a friend. You don't know what they are going to say, and you don't know how they're going to react to something, or so.
This is a really long
put this out, and
death
after
stream.
that,
I was
just
not
wait
prepared for
an
this.
answer, and we're like, okay, what's going to be the answer? And also, we're not alone into waiting that answer. Like the whole department that are working on this, they are waiting like eagerly to get answers. So it's kind of like there's a challenge to just the unknown, because we do not know what will happen. But at the same time, we had a base to work on, so that was interesting. But while creating a key art, it's really hard because you are creating something that needs to evoke what the whole chapter means. So it can change with an expression, it can change with a pose, it can change with colors. So basically the players are now deciding of that, and I think it's really it's exciting, it's challenging, but I really
Okay, that's
love
my last
that
news for the ad
challenge
break.
because it just
5
like
more minutes and then an
you're
ad is going
always
to play no
that
matter what.
edge, like, oh, what's going to happen? But yeah, there was no deception. Like everything went really great, and I love the process and just the sheer surprise of it all.
I think you really put your finger on it, which is like it feels like having a conversation with a friend, because
Yeah.
the players are really in there with us, and it's a really fun interaction that we're
Yeah.
having, where we're asking them to go on this journey with us, and we're really asking them to make these decisions with us, because we want to know, we're and it happens with every chapter. We always want to know what do you think about this. We're always so excited to release them because we're like, oh my god, we can't wait to see what they're going to think.
Yeah.
But this time they're part of that process with us, so we get to ask them, as we move forward. So it's great.
I feel like this is a lot of padding
Very,
for the
very
stream, I'm going to be
exciting.
honest.
But to go back to what you said, we're
Yeah.
having a conversation with a friend. So now it's time for our friends to vote.
Yes.
Cast your votes. And if you didn't know, the vote is live. So
Yep.
they can vote right now.
It is
You
live.
can
It went
vote
live
through a
2 hours
chat
ago.
search. If you want to, you can also vote on the Grimoire website. If you don't have access to the link, you
I
can
didn't know I was
go
going to go live today
our
either, Cats,
official
but
social
there's
channels.
this dev stream, so I thought might as well stream me watching it.
We want to know. We want to know what you think.
But good morning. Good
again,
morning.
The last vote. This is
it.
This is it. This is your last opportunity.
We're going to raid Polly
cast
once
your
this is
vote,
done,
let us know
because
what you think.
I'm just ending
I
after
know
the
you
dev
wanna stay in
stream.
the game, and it's an exciting.
I got some things I got to do.
It's not the least one. So very, very exciting, very important. So please do vote. And I think that's the end. That brings us to the end. Thank you. So much for
Perfect,
joining
because
us
I don't have any more
on
skips for
15.
ads.
We're actually
Jesus.
going to be raiding Connor Sparky, which we actually got to meet at our
And we're going to
Connor
raid
conference.
Polly.
So very excited for
Because Polly's
for
doing
us
some
to,
Attack on Titan skin
to
code
raid Connor
giveaways,
Sparky.
so I want
Thank you
people who are
again for
here on
joining
Twitch
us.
to be able
Thank you for
to
being
win
part
those
of
if
this
possible.
Grimoire
He's
journey with
got
us.
the Fire
It's
Attack
been a
Titan,
long-
he's
it's been a
got
long journey. It's not
Sasha,
done
and I
yet,
think
by
Cleaning
the end of the
Levi.
vote, but we'll still make sure
So.
that we update you on the progress as we go up until the PTB, the release. And also, as we get closer to PTB,
But
and
they've been
release,
just like
maybe we'll
going
get
at this
to
for a
reveal bit
while.
more about the world of these
Like
three
they really
characters.
padded this out
Do look forward to that.
with a lot of
And,
talking.
yeah, thank you for joining us today, and I hope you'll have a great day and a great time.
Because this went for like an hour and like 10 minutes. That's it. I don't think there's going to be anything else. We'll see. We'll see if there's something. All right, and that's it. All right. All right. What were the highlights? So, all right, I'll give you some quick highlights before the ad kicks in, before I go and raid Polly. So we got to see how stuff's gonna work. We saw the killer and how they control their ray of light. We saw how sin is applied with the ray of light, or just by taunting killer by like emoting at them, teabagging, or they're doing the watch me leave in the exit gate, like staying too long in the exit gate. And then we got to see a very early concept for the exiled area, and like the little crystal things we're going to be absorbing to get rid of our exile meter so we can get out on our own. They showed being able to bring other survivors out at a shrine. They changed it so now all of the survivors will escape together at that same shrine, but the killer will get notified. And once someone gets exiled, you can see the two closest shrines to the killer are going to be the ones that you can use to bring the survivors back. That's really the highlights. We've got an ad playing in a minute, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop that raid for Polly now. Let's go ahead and raid Polly. That is the highlights, but that's going to be it for me. Paulie will be going over it as well. He's going to be doing giveaway for Attack on Titan. So if you're new around here, hit that follow. Yeah, see you next week. Just say this as the raid thing, I guess. We here at DOS Stream say hi. Just copy that in the chat. And we'll go ahead and say hi to him. Let me go ahead and end YouTube stream. Thank you, YouTube, for watching. And for everyone on Twitch, as always, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon,